We present Mystique, an interactive authoring tool for building expressive charts using examples. Mystique enables authors to start with an existing SVG chart to reuse its structure and visual styles. Consider this online example created using D3. This chart shows the total trade values for imports or exports in each year as a grouped bar chart. Within each bar, the rectangles represent individual countries, and their sizes represent the trade values. These rectangles are arranged in a tree map layout and colored by continent. Mystique first detects the axes and legend in this chart. Mystique correctly extracts the y-axis labels and the first level of the x-axis, but misses the higher level x labels, which are the 4 years, and misclassifies the y-axis label type, which should be numbers instead of categories. To fix these errors, we can click the plus button next to the labeled display box, which will add a new display box for the higher level labels. We can then drag and drop these labels into the new box. We then select the correct label type for the y-axis from the drop-down list. After clicking the next button, we enter the Reuse UI. Note here, Mystique provides summarized information about how the dataset should look. It reminds us that our new dataset should have at least 4 categorical columns and at least 1 quantitative column. We can also click the See Sample Data button to view an example dataset. Suppose we have already uploaded the new dataset. The new dataset we have contains orders received by a superstore. The data records information about each order, order ID, product category, product subcategory, geographic region of the store, and sales value from the order. We want to create a new visualization which shows the total sales value for each region grouped by product category and subcategory. Mystique starts by asking what the highlighted highest level group in the chart should represent in the new dataset. Everything but this group fades into the background. Let's select the value from the category attribute, resulting in 3 highest level groups with labels from the category attribute. Mystique then highlights a subgroup within the highest level group and asks what it should represent in the new dataset. Let's select the value from the subcategory attribute. Mystique next highlights the yellow colored group of rectangles in the first subgroup and asks what it should represent in the new dataset. Let's select the value from the region attribute. Mystique then highlights the first rectangle in the first subgroup and asks what it should represent in the new dataset. Let's select a value from the order ID attribute. After that, Mystique starts handling encodings. First, Mystique guesses that the height of each subgroup bar encodes the sales data attribute, since this is the only numeric attribute in the dataset, and generates a y-axis and grid lines in the canvas. We accept this step and click Next. Mystique continues to infer encodings for rectangle marks. It first guesses that the filling color channel of each rectangle is mapped to the sales attribute. We tell Mystique to change sales into regions, and Mystique produces a corresponding legend in the visualization. Mystique further suggests that the area channel of each rectangle is mapped to the sales attribute, and renders the corresponding output. We accept this and click Next, which leads to the final chart in the full opacity. We have successfully created the chart by reusing the example. Mystique further supports outputting the visualization in the format that can be directly imported into Data Illustrator for more customization. For example, here we imported the tree map bar chart. We can click on the main chart area and drag it within the canvas. The same applies to the legend. The gap parameter between different tree map groups can also be easily altered. To make the y-axis labels more compact, we click on the y-axis and set the label format to be 0.2s. We can further change the colors using the legend, which will be applied to the rectangles in the main chart area accordingly. For more demos, please check out our website. Thank you.